Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady, where a guy earns $10,000 because he helps out in a store even though he does not work there. But before we start, please do me a favor, like the video to get 900 ripe points. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe to join our community. And now, without any further ado, let's dive right in. I don't work here and my husband's essentially your boss. I am on a burner account in the improbable event this would get back to anyone involved. My husband works for a pretty prestigious university as the director of student life. He oversees a decent sized staff and their work encompasses all manners of student activities, groups, Greek life, etc. A little background before I get to the incident. A few months ago, we were expecting our baby. Most people on campus knew this and knew that my husband, let's call him Joe, would be taking paternity leave. When the big day came, I called him at work and told him it's go time. Meet me at the hospital, and he dropped everything and ran out the door as you do. In the delivery room, we had plenty of downtime, so from time to time he checked his work email while I rest. He's looking through it and goes, "What the F?" A professor wrote him the most caustic, unhinged rant saying, basically, "I came into your office to see you about a matter concerning my students and you were not there, despite the department hours clearly stating 8 to 5. This is unacceptable and unprofessional, contact me immediately, etc." He lolled and said, won't she feel silly when she gets his out of office reply? But no, 10 minutes later she's harassing him again. Finally, he sent her a very terse reply and it seemed that was the end of that, but not for long. Every day for the next week, this professor came into the office demanding to know if Joe was there. More than one tear was shed by the staff during this time. I don't know exactly what she was saying or why no one else could do what she needed. The staff was kind enough not to burden Joe with this while he was on pet leave, but reports are it was like having an angry dementor come through. On the first day Joe returned to work, he got to meet his professor face to face. He was in his office, on FaceTime with me actually, when yelling erupts from down the hall. Oh, he says to me, I bet that's her. We hung up and what conversation happened in that office can only be imagined. Or maybe he told me and I forgot. #newborn life. But by all accounts, she was cantankerous, irate and incorrect in what she was trying to do and could not be told otherwise. As he's in charge of the department but not of her, he could only put his foot down on the request but not the behavior. Finally she left and the whole situation was done and dusted, finished and forgotten. But again, not for long. Fast forward to yesterday. I decided to pop in with the baby to surprise him and hopefully we could go to lunch. Also, show off the baby of course. When we arrived, it was squeeze all around from the office staff and one of the ladies took the baby for a tour around the building. I've been holding that kid for 3 months straight, so I was happy to let her. Joe's admin assistant told me he was in a meeting for another 10 or so minutes and then she went off on the baby world tour. So I decided to sit in his office and enjoy merciful silence. But, and you guessed it, not for long. Enter the professor from hell. I knew it was her before she said one word. She looked like an ivory tower Karen with an "I want to talk to you, Dean" hairdo. Karen,
"Does nobody do any work around here? This is outrageous. Where's admin's assistant? Why is Joe even on the payroll if he's never here? Go find him."
Me? What? Karen?
"Oh my god, are you too effing hungover to accept simple direction? What the F is wrong with you? I would kick your butt out of class looking like that. I don't care where he is. Go and get Joe."
Me? Oh, you think I'm a student? Karen mockingly.
"Oh, I'm gonna pretend I'm not a student now sitting in the office. With the university sweatshirt and a book bag. What group are you in? Because Joe will be very interested to hear how inept you are."
I'm like, book bag? Oh yeah, diaper bag. At this point I decide to write this out and hope he comes back and sees it in progress. Me? Okay, let's say I'm a student. Why do you think I work here? That was exactly the wrong, or right, depending on your point of view, thing to say. This lady came undone in a torrent of maniacal hissing and shrieking. Her vitriol knew no bounds as she directed it at me, the office staff, my husband, all students except hers, the building itself, and I've never seen such a tantrum. Give the baby a few years. As she's having her meltdown, I moved out of the chair where I had been sitting and sidled up to a photo of our wedding that Joe hung up. I leaned against the wall like a laconic cowboy with my foot up, arms folded, smirking. Unsurprisingly, she didn't notice the similarities between the beaming bride and the dumpy, sleep-deprived chick standing before her, but I remained committed to the con. After several moments of a non-stop torrent of verbal abuse,
"Joe does not even fit for community college. How the F did he get a job here?"
was the one that made me chortle. She didn't like that much. I hear a flurry of footsteps come flying down the hall. The admin assistant comes sliding through the door like Kramer, face white as a sheet. I ask her if Joe Jr. is okay. Another co-worker had him in another office because they heard Karen and did not want his baby self to learn what madness lurks in the world at such a tender age. She has exactly enough time to answer before Karen unleashes the kraken in her direction vis-a-vis the ineptitude of me. Clutch pearls. AA, wait, what are you talking about? That's Mr. Me. Me, still posed like the Marlboro Man, points at my picture. And right on cue, here comes the man of the hour. Joe, complete with Joe Jr. in arm. The co-worker holding the baby had called his cell phone and told him what was happening, and to get back there as soon as possible. Joe was livid, but that eerie, scary sort that is a schadenfreude lover's delight when directed at a deserving recipient. He handed me the baby and asked if I was alright, then turned to the Karen professor. Joe, get out. Do not come back until I've spoken to your department chair. I'm going to lunch. Me, boy, do I have a story to tell you. And out the door we swept off to lunch, where we got pizza and migraines from laughing so hard. At this time, I don't know what action is being taken against Karen Professor, but if asked, I would sure be happy to give testimony. Update: okay, Joe talked to the head of the Department of Engineering, and turns out Karen is an associate professor from hell and therefore untenured. Joe is leaving for a conference tomorrow and won't be back until Wednesday, so I probably won't know more until then, but stay tuned. Update number 2. Admin assistant is gathering up a paper trail of literal papers that Karen has submitted that she's not allowed to, and checks she has signed that she cannot sign. She will also be forwarding all abusive emails from Karen and making a written statement of Karen's behavior. Joe will probably send the emails he's received to HR and the department chair, but he's not as heated now on his own behalf, but still livid about the way the staff are being treated as he was the other day, and might not press too hard except in support of the staff. Update number 3. Not a very exciting update, but the admin assistant has submitted her complaint to HR, and Karen's department chair suggested to her that she not contact Joe's department, not for the least of which reason the thing she's trying to do can only be done by students, and she overtook their responsibility in an effort to mega ultra micromanage them. Kel's surprised that she treats her students like that and usurped control of a student-led group. In all likelihood, this process will drag on for some time, and she will probably get a slap on the wrist for both offenses. Probably the best I Don't Work Here Lady story I have ever seen. To the ripe stars that went to college as well, did you ever have a Karen professor from hell? If you have any entitled or crazy professor stories, please share them in the comments or on r/ripe stories. And now let's move on to story number 2. If he looks like a geek and walks like a geek, I was in Best Buy picking up some software. I do independent IT work. I was not wearing a blue shirt, but the racks were a mess, so I was going through the boxes looking for the one I wanted. This older guy, I'm an older guy myself, comes to me with a popular antivirus program and starts telling me his situation and wants to know if that is the best product for him. I show him a more suitable product, considerably cheaper, and recommend it. He asks if I can check him out. I laugh for a second and explain that I am in IT but I don't work here. He looks a little puzzled, walks off the register. He comes back a few minutes later with his bagged box and asks how much I would charge to come install the software at his office. I give him my rate, he accepts, and I end up at his office cleaning up a mess of 5 virus-infected PCs before I can install antivirus. That was 2 years ago. My billings to him have exceeded $10,000 for building an effective business network. Helping people in a store you don't work in can be very profitable. You know, that makes me think, instead of giving these Karen people what they deserve, it could also work in your favor if you are nice to them and play the game and help them. But then again, I think this was a very isolated incident if you ask me. And either way, this was all the content I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have a fantastic day and I see you tomorrow.